LinkedIn has retaliated to my data portability request by nuking my account. All of my groups, all of my posts and content are gone. LinkedIn did this to me following a data portability request. I made a data portability request to LinkedIn to obtain back content that had been deleted. And LinkedIn said, here you go, it's under settings and privacy. Well, no, those comments were not under settings and privacy. None of the comments were under settings and privacy. Comments aren't there. How do I get them? Then they reopened it, and then they closed it again. It's under settings and privacy. No, it's not. Finally, after persistence, several months later, LinkedIn admitted that they aren't under settings and privacy. And here's the most recent email that I got back from LinkedIn. After LinkedIn, through some correspondence with me, it told me that they would conduct an investigation to figure out what was going on and inquire with their legal team. All right. And here's their most recent response from yesterday, November 16th. Hi, Garrett. Thank you for contacting us. You have a right to your data and can access the data associated with your LinkedIn account by downloading your data from your LinkedIn settings and privacy page. As stated in Section 2.9 of our privacy policy, we use your data, including your communications, for security purposes or to prevent or investigate possible fraud or other violations of our user agreement. And notice that there's some formatting issues with the parenthetical. Okay. If an investigation has determined that information needs to be removed from our site, or if a member has removed from out site, it is purged from our database and no longer accessible. The formatting and spelling errors and grammar errors in this indicate that this was not properly checked. It's not something that has been prepared in advance. It's something that they typed up. So my response to them is as follows. The law states nothing about any business investigations. The law asserts the right for consumers to obtain their data from companies for the purposes of data portability. This is done under Data Portability Request, 1798.100, right to access. But I already told you exactly this. Did you miss that? You're literally inventing exception clauses to the law. LinkedIn internal investigation does not supersede the law. The law is as stated. That's called post hoc rationalization. LinkedIn's response to this was to not respond to the email, but to delete all of my content. This is retaliation for a lawful request for my data. Now, the clause in the 1798.100 that deals with non-compliance says there's a $2,500 fine for each non-compliance and a $7,500 fine for retaliation for deliberate non-compliance. That is, if the consumer makes a request to the business and the business retaliates against the consumer, that's retaliation for the consumer trying to assert their rights under the law. And that is exactly what LinkedIn has done. And they've even tried to justify that by saying we can retaliate because we have our terms of use. Well, as I stated in the email, the terms of use don't supersede the law. And here's the other funny thing that they said in their email. They said if an investigation has determined, right? An investigation, what investigation? It's not a lawful investigation. That's a LinkedIn investigation. And there's no process for that specified anywhere. They do whatever they want. Their investigation could be as like, heads or tails. Yep, delete it. Okay, we investigated it. We flipped a coin. That's as bad as the process could be according to that sentence. There's nothing which defines what an investigation is. It certainly isn't defined under the law, and that's why I responded thusly. So LinkedIn's response is to retaliate against the small guy again, as all these big tech companies will do. Now, if I were a large account with 50,000 followers, that would be hard for LinkedIn to get away with. But since I only have several hundred followers on LinkedIn, they can do that. And this is why more people don't say things that they might be inclined to say online. They're afraid. They don't want to get in a situation where they're unemployed and they can't use LinkedIn anymore because they said something that made LinkedIn mad and LinkedIn decided to retaliate. This is quite different from when I started, when putting the user first was a priority for web programming. Always put the user first. Try to make things easy for the users. So I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. It's a real painful thing for me to deal with, having no LinkedIn account now, trying to find work. I've invested years and years and years. I've posted lots of content, lots of code examples, and there's really quite a bit on there that people can see about me as far as my professional skills and how I interact with others. LinkedIn deleting my content very much impacts me. I don't know how I can respond to this. Under the law, consumers are not allowed to sue businesses. All that's handled by the board. So can I report it to the board? Well, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know how that goes. You report the problem to the board. The board, California Privacy Protection Agency Board, under Jennifer Urban, and now with its funder, sponsor, Alastair McTaggart, does nothing. They don't even accept your response. They don't even accept your complaint. It goes to a sub-appointee under them who will give you back a general pamphlet information informing you of what your rights are. They don't do anything. They do nothing. I have all of those responses, and I've made numerous videos about how ArtistWorks retaliated against me when I made a data portability request, lied to the OAG, said that I had requested data deletion, lied and said that I had raped someone, and then tried to even back up that claim by trying to provide some evidence that I had raped someone, which was false. And I probably shouldn't even say what their allegation was, but the allegation is so outlandish that it's like I have no fear of anybody even believing that, because that's just totally way out in left field. But the OAG sub-appointee board, the sub-appointee under the board, made the determination that nothing needed to be done, even though ArtistWorks had retaliated and deleted all of my content, which did impact me, and I want it back. And I don't have the right to get it back. Legally, I do, but there's no teeth. I have no teeth. I can't do anything other than complain. And complaining will get you nowhere. All right. That's the purpose of rights. Rights are to assert that we have a legal right, and if we do have a legal right, we should be able to sue. And LinkedIn lawyers know this. You see? They can do what they want. I think they know this. They can do what they want, and they're showing me. Oh, you want to assert your data portability rights? You want to say that we're committing post hoc rationalization? Well, Mr. Smith, we can make the determination, an investigation can make the determination that if content needs to be removed, then we can remove it. And once it has been removed, you don't get it back. It's deleted from our databases. So they can flip a coin, delete it from their databases, investigation's done, content's gone, you don't get your data back. End of story. I wish I had a happy ending to this one, but unfortunately, that's where I'm at now.